Hi guys, welcome to Frickin' Jeep. Guess I ought to be here. Hi guys, welcome to Frickin' Jeep. I'm here and we're back at the little sawmill. And I just finished mowing and mowing and mowing, then went up and anoint my neighbor to see what he's up to, because I haven't been able to get out and visit anybody, and we try to keep track of everybody, especially the bad neighbors like him, because if we know where he's at, then he can't get into trouble. Gotcha, Jim. Anyhow, watched Shifty's show up at Back 40 yesterday. He got some mini ice balls for his refrigerator for Friday night. If you haven't seen that, go up and check that out. That's quite awesome. And Mark, I think Mark and Andrews Lumber and Shannon down at Temple Hills Sawmill, they're all fighting for the biggest log. Don't think I can fight there, but I got a big one over there that I might pull out, but I don't know. Anyhow, this contraption, this is what I'm making. Well, I think it's done. What do you think? And I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to put it over here. Here's my plans. Of course, my plans change. We're going to put it up on the wall right here. Right about there. I can still get that off and it's not in the way, and I'll move it over a little bit. Hopefully it can. Now you're starting to see what it's all about, aren't you? Of course, that isn't going to want to go. It's going to fall off. And I didn't put the long bit on there. I'm always so prepared. I don't know how I managed to get so prepared all the time. Just a man of preparation. Preparation H, maybe. Anyway, let's see if we can't get it. Doesn't really matter where it goes, I don't think. Except for that's in the way already. That looks fairly straight. I can straighten it after I don't know how many screws I'm going to put in it. I have the accommodations for 4. That looks pretty straight. Might be better at an angle. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, it turns nicely. This is meant not to turn. It's got a clamping in here and a clamping in here, which you can't see it, but they're kind of bowed up. Anyhow, here's the plans. Okay, the plans. I can't see what's in here. It's so sunny. Can't see what's in here. I'll take it off the stand, but then it's shaky as heck. The plans is to screw you guys on here, and when I'm down here, I'll have it this way, which will probably be at that point. When I'm down that way, it'll be at that way, which is kind of probably don't. I didn't know whether this thing was going to be in the way. I can go that far, which I guess I don't know where the camera is. I got to give it a test run. So I'm going to do a sweep to sweep so it hits there. This side here is got a little bit better, but it hits down here, but it doesn't quite make the handle there, but I don't know where I'm going to be, so I'm going to try to do some marks on here and maybe some ZZs and some eddies on there to kind of figure out where I'm going left to right. I need to put a degree wheel on it. No, just a little line there should be fine. So that's where I'm going to go. So I'm about ready to take you off this shaky tripod, put on there, and give it a twirl to kind of see where it's going back to back, and you're going to go along with a test run like me. So we'll be back in a little bit. Bye-bye. And you'll be up there. You'll be right here. That'll also, I forgot to tell you, that might get the tripod out of the way, because the tripod's always in the way. It might help in that aspect. I had set it up here one time, and this shakes so bad. This sawmill shakes. It's got a vibration in it. Shakes so bad you couldn't watch the show. So anyhow, we'll be back in a bit or two. Well guys, I can't see nothing in this frame. It looks like that's a pretty good height elevation. I don't know how to oh, this one locks the height. So that gets me all the way back to there, so you can see me rolling logs going all the way around there. I can't see it. I got to get over the other side. That was the only problem with this. Now I thought about putting a extension board. Yeah, I can't see anything now. Okay, now I can kind of see the saw blade a little bit. We'll bring it up a little bit. Oops, that's this one. It's got the saw blade. I can kind of see that. And I can get down there if I raise it up a little bit. So now it has to be down here for the saw blade. Anyhow, that's a lock position one way. and we're scoping you around, and that's a lock position the other way. So that's probably enough to get it. Now I gotta get to get this camera up here and on and off is kind of a nightmare though. Whoop whoop. Is there any problem with my brain? No. Anyhow, I'm gonna try. Now I don't think you can see that. I don't remember how far. I have to put a flag on it, so it gets back to just beyond that pole. I have to remember that. I have to put a marker there or something. So that's where it gets to. So I can't get beyond that. Now if I brought it out further, I could. If I put a couple shims behind it and brought it out another, I could get a little further. But I think that's probably far enough. Then you can see me loading and turning and all that kind of fancy stuff. Like I said, I can't see what's in the screen very well. I can see it a little bit. All right, that's enough. We gotta get a log on there, but I gotta go back and get a snack and take a break. And well, I already got you on the tripod. I put the cant hook in it, which I don't know if you can see that there, and this thing is just peeling bad. So that stuff is so slippery that this is my poor man's debarker. I don't know if you're focused in on this other end or not. I don't remember where I put the camera. See if we can't get some of this crap off, because it'll just haunt you later. Haunt you later. I also got to metal detect these. I've not put the metal detector on them. That is going to be slippery as cat snot, I think. Of course, I don't really know how slippery cat snot is. Let me see if I can't move it down. And you're on the ground tripod right now. This is a womp womp log, so it shouldn't just keep rolling. But that's my famous last words. I don't know if you saw me at the other end. I just this stuff is just so, you just don't feel like getting it into the saw. It's easier to get off now, and if I do saw, if it doesn't rain, I do get back here and saw. This log ought to be, it'll dry out real quick. It's like hair. Maybe I can put some on top of my head. What do you think? I got a couple turtles on this thing that I don't like. I should probably cut them off, but I just don't feel like it. I don't know. This is pretty good, smooth and running log. I'll bring it down one more over. All right, stop. You didn't see it at the other side because the camera normally, like me, is always in the wrong position. I stopped it right here with my hand, and that one just went slid down. This stuff is this garbage is such a mess. I'll pull it off and look at that. Some people use this as sidings on houses, but it's a little better quality. A little better quality. I've seen people put it up, they cut it in sections and use it as siding. I use it as trying to get it out of the way. I got a log here. But if you're trying to saw with this, there's a daggone burr in here someplace catching it. Man, right there. There's a word for this, but I'll try to not use it. What a mess. What a mess. Just saw your log. I got mud all over my shoes. There. Let's see how this next one is. See if it could be worse. It's about the same. Got a little bit tight there. Yeah, it's fungus getting in there. That's why I'm trying to get these sawed up. But then I gotta sticker them, store them, stack them, stuff them, save them. Those boards are hot, I guess from fermenting. Well, you get this stuff on here and you run down the track and you're just gonna have headaches. Hey, you're gonna have headaches anyway. So you might as well just get it now. I think it's just about peeled off all the way around. I was supposed to be up taking a break, getting lunch after all the mowing and weed whipping I did. And it's right hot out here too. Yeah, I got that big piece on. What a mess. This should probably roll. It's a womp womp log. But I got to run the metal detector over them, which these have all been real clear. Whew. Just what you do back at the sawmill. Sometimes you just can't saw. Bet you've never seen this before. Maybe you have. There you go. Got a couple nice logs. If the weather holds out. Whew. Old fat boy's out of breath again. Doesn't take much for an old geezer to get out of breath. But that looks pretty good. I'll probably work on that other one just because that's what I'm doing right now. But you've seen enough of it. We'll see ya. Bye-bye. Well, guys, I was planning on doing some sawing tonight, but that ain't happening. So do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe button, and we're just going to weather another storm out. That's all we need is another rain. I had the fire going today. I did get the mowing finished down there. I haven't gotten all the way down yet, but just about. Woo! And then as soon as the rain lets up, probably have to start mowing again. But I was hoping to get those 3 naked poplar logs. I got the bark off the last one and run them through that sawmill so you had a little bit of sawing, but it ain't happening, guys. Crazy rain here. I bet we've had 5 inches in a week. Well, since Sunday, I think. Anyhow, we'll see you later. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and bring a boat. Bye. Well, guys, there's always something going on. Always something broken. You see the fluorescent lights out? Well, that one I changed the LED. That one I changed the LED. That one I changed the LED. That one's still working. Can you hear the hum? And it goes out. I heard that noise last night, or the night before. I go, what in the world's going on down here? So, I got to turn the lights out, so I had to get my flashlight. I have to dig in and see what's wrong with it. It might just be a busted bulb. I'll take the bulbs out first. It is black at that end, but I got a feeling it's a transformer. It must have some kind of internal circuitry to circuit breaker or something that it's shorting out and then shuts itself off because it comes on and goes out. So, anybody knows anything about fluorescence, I guess that's what it is. I'm going to learn. Hear it? Anyway, that's one thing going on. We've had about 5 inches of rain in the last, I think, 4 days. The sun finally came out. It is, can you see all the wet? It is just soaking around here. Haven't gone back to Sawmill, see what's going on yet. So that's, I gotta go do that light to see what's going on. Little birdie. Anyhow, that's what's going on here to start the day with. Bye-bye. Well, I took the light bulbs out. It didn't stop the buzz. But now a little bit later, it's not buzzing anymore. So maybe it burned out the fuse or whatever. I'm getting ready to turn off the electricity and look into it. Just an update. Bye. Well, this one leaned into that one, which stopped it. Pretty dangerous situation. It's pretty windy, and it rained another ½ inch this morning, but I think this angle here will show, and you can see the roots starting to come up. I've been thinking about that tree for a while, and I might have to, I don't know, what do you do with something like that? I'd come over with the 450 case track machine and push on a little bit, except for the hydraulics started leaking on that one cylinder so bad I showed in the show a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago, I don't know. Anyhow, that's something I just found. Bye-bye. This is less than a week of grass. So much, this is why I don't do this. Now here I mowed it the other day after I did that trimming over there. So this is only about I don't know, a day or two. Here I can't go down any further. I gotta zoom over here, go back up. Somebody did a Brody in our front yard. Oh well. I don't know if this really shows how much grass is there. I don't even know if you can hear me. Normally I don't like to mow grass where I'm going to mow next, but I want that over there to all be blown this way, if that makes any sense. Well guys, it's supposed to rain again this afternoon, and it is a mess. I've been weed whipping around here, weed whipping over there, weed whipping there, weed whipping there. I did a little weed whipping there. I did weed whipping around the 544. And this is kind of how tall it is. I got to get back in here. And I'll bring you along, but this is about super boring, so I'll just show you a before and after. You can see in my lickety log splitters, I got a little bit of, you can't really tell how tall that is, but that's my knee. It's over my knee. So I got to get this. I weed whipped here. I started weed whipping around. I flutter around. I started weed whipping around there, which I guess you can see the difference. And then I weed whipped up there. I got to get that big thing. Weed whipped in around the garden a little bit. I got to get some more fertilizer on the garden. All this rain is washing the fertilizer away, and the potatoes are starting to look a little like they need some sun. All right, I'm gonna do this and I'll bring you back after I'm done showing you an after. We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. Different mower. Just digs in. Throwing the grass, throwing the grass. I gotta hit that little pile. Something there that I missed. We'll do a drive around. All right, now. Put it away in its little shed. This mower needs exercise every now and then, so I like to take it out. Oh man, it is so wet. There's some places over here I can't even, down in there it's just a swamp, so I can't get there. I got all this cleaned up. I gotta go up and get a drink. Got all around that wood splitter cleaned up, around the other wood splitter. I ran that thing up there. That old mower just kind of keeps putting along. Well, it's not an old mower anymore, it's a new mower. New to me. Anyhow, this is a walk around what I got. I'm gonna go, tired of doing this, I gotta go tackle something else. Got weed whipped around there, got weed whipped around there. This is how heavy the rain is. You see the ripples? I don't know if they're showing up on this camera. And that only comes from about that box down to here, because there's a berm there that we just finished mowing, because this used to all be garden here. This was all garden. None of this was here. This was all under cultivation here. Okay? And none of this was here. Like none of it. If you can imagine that. I'll have to find a picture of it and show it. That big pile of dirt wasn't here. This was all just vegetables. All the way up to the road. So all those apple trees didn't used to be there. The barn didn't used to be there. Give you an update on the taters. I don't know if I just did in another video. Today is Friday. And I mowed this. I gotta side dress those a little bit. They're getting a little not as bright green as they should be. And so I'll go get some fertilizer and put on then. We just planted the squash and zucchini in the greenhouse, so that ought to be just coming up anytime soon. So that's what's going on around here. I got to get back to tearing something up. A little while ago while I was mowing, it started sprinkling. Maybe you can see the the darkness up there. So I'm just kind of doing things that I can put away real quick. So that's what's going on. Not much in this show. Bye-bye. Here's a closer look at that tree. You can't really kind of tell the angle, but it's not really wedged into that tree. It's just kind of leaning against it. And I don't think it's going to take much for it to just slide down that maple, which would be nice because then it'll knock a little bark off, but I think it'll be all right. That's one of those oak trees that likes the mold, which Boiler doesn't care about that. But can you see where it's starting to come out? Can't do it with my slippers on. Anyhow, I got tired of mowing, so taking a little bit of a break, but I kind of, believe it or not, it scares this old goat to keep driving up and down that road with us here, because this is going to take out, going to get you in a large section. I'd like it to go down. If it doesn't go down in a few days, there's supposed to be some heavy thunder showers tonight. If it doesn't go down today, I'll probably work on something. Here's an old hickory tree. You know, I don't mind hickory trees like that because they're up and out of the way. But anyhow, that's just kind of a nasty tree update. I guess I could take a rotten chainsaw and chainsaw some of that up and loosen it up. If I loosen this, it might have a tendency to move that way away from that. I don't think there's any limbs up there that are... Nah, there's no limbs really up there holding it. I'll zoom you in, but it's going to be shaky. Too shaky. I wanted to come down so I can take care of it and get it out of the way and stop worrying about it. Anyhow, that's what I ought to do. Well, that's caught right there. Maybe I'll bring a little chainsaw up. I hate to take out a blade like that. I got a halfway decent blade in that. Anyway, we'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.